Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday. Today, we are here with Lisa Lewis, and she is the founder and CEO of Omnium Circus. And we are here to share with you all the amazing resource, what she has in store for us, and how you all can get free and discounted tickets to her upcoming show. So, Omnium is an inclusive and accessible circus that is multi-abled and representative, highlighting and celebrating disabilities and diversity throughout circus art. So, Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. And thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started Omnium?
Sure. After many, many years of working in circus, and I was always responsible, I've done almost everything from circus, which is kind of fun. I started off as a clown for Ringling Brothers many, many years ago and have progressed through all sorts. I think I've done almost everything except shovel behind the animals.
Nice.
I've done follow
Okay.
spots, I've done everything else. That one I've missed. Um,
Okay.
but as things went along and I started watching all the families that came, and I realized we would have the circus I was working for at the time, we would have one day for a sensory free performance or sensory
Mhm.
adapted performance. So people that had kids on the spectrum or with sensory sensitivities could only come on that day. Well, what would happen if you have one kid with sensory sensitivities, one kid with baseball practice, one kid with football practice, one kid with ballet, one kid who uses a wheelchair, every child is different and unique. So
Yeah.
families were not able to come together to share a really iconic family experience. The circus is something that everybody should be able to enjoy together. So I started dreaming and imagining what would happen if we had all access at every single show.
Mm.
How amazing would it be that families could come with together with their grandparents, with Uncle Dave, who happens to be blind, who needs an audio description, or with Aunt Jane or Aunt Juanita or whatever. I'm making up names. But anyway, the point is you can bring all people that have different access bridge needs to the same show to get a comparable enjoyment so everybody has a good time together, because the experience is what we're after, a positive shared experience. So I started ideating on that. And then I thought, well, what would happen if they looked into the ring and saw themselves represented? How awesome would that feel?
Yes.
So life took its turns, and in 2020, we created exactly that. And it's called Omnium, which means of all and belonging to all.
That's amazing. I love that.
So I have a few little slides. The one that's up right now, everyone can see that, yes?
Yes.
So the exciting part is all of that founding and ideating happened 3 years ago. So now you're at the really fun part where you can start to build family traditions. It's our third year at Capital One Hall in Tysons, Virginia.
Hmm.
And we are so excited to share. It's the same mission, the same vision, new acts, new artists, the ability to showcase just incredible talents. So the picture you have up there right now is the information for the show, as well as what we call our key art, which is like the poster, the pretty picture.
Hmm.
So you'll see some of the artists there. And let me go to the next slide. As you said, this is our vision, this is our mission, this is what we've started to do. We believe very, very clearly and very, very strongly that full inclusion and representation in the arts leads to self-actualization, increased tolerance, and a better society. And that's true. Inclusion benefits everyone. More pictures. Again, of more artists that we're going to see. And here's the fun part. You guys want to see a sizzle? You guys want to see something super cool? So if you want to play this, the one that you have a picture of right now, you guys are going to see later because Shatea is going to post it later, so you get to see that. So let's see another one that's just a fun clip of a presentation we did in Times Square this past year. And you're going to see a lot of these artists in Tyson's when you come.
Awesome. All right.
We have a story we'd like to share.
And that's that. So that's just a fun bit of some of the artists that we're going to see. So a little bit, I don't know if you're curious or not, a little bit about the history of why we chose circus as an art form, because people ask me that a lot. So if you're curious, I can share this slide. Oh, it's already up. Okay, cool. So the circus is wait a minute. Let me go back one. There we go. So fun trivial facts. In 1878, when James Bailey of Barnum and Bailey lit his circus with electricity, that was the first time anyone had seen electricity in use. People were still using gas lights. And it encouraged people to bring electricity into their home, and it introduced a whole new paradigm of life to culture and to society. In 1896, cars were introduced through the circus. P.T. Barnum introduced the first horseless carriage as an act in his circus. And in 2020, we were born and introduced the idea that accessibility, inclusion, and belonging is an absolutely vital part of popular entertainment. So the circus is a very important vehicle for change. And it's change through joy, not by somebody wagging a finger at you. You have to change, but more through joy and through love and through sharing and through positive experiences. That's how we're going to create change. So that's what we do. This is a picture of our first virtual show. We started virtually during the pandemic. We created an online version of what we wanted to be. And you can still see it online. It's on Eventbrite right now. So if you have an evening at home and you're bored, you can rent the video and watch the video of our very, very first circus. And it's called A Celebration of Diversity. We then went in 2021. We tried to go live. Pandemic didn't agree with us. So we started again in December and then did go live. Our first full performance was at Gallaudet University in December of 2021, and then over to Cap One Hall in 22, right, the year turned, in February of 22. So this will be, as I said, our third year back, and these are some images of just going from virtual to live, some of the performance images that you'll see. And this young man is the head of our ringmaster squad. One of the slides, oh no, it was on there. Our mission is threefold. It includes 3 E's: entertainment, education, and employment. The entertainment is obvious. That's our production. The employment is obvious to me, at least. We are 40% persons with disabilities throughout our entire company. We've won the National Organization on Disability Award twice, 22 and 23, because of our employment practices. And then we have what's called our Ringmaster Squad, which is a community engagement activity. And Eric, whom you see pictured here, is the head of our Ringmaster Squad. And if anyone else would like to join it, you are quite welcome. It's a volunteer squad that helps us to promote the circus, and it is community engagement for those that tend to be more siloed, that tend to shy away from mainstream culture. and tend to be more isolated. And it's a way to allow us to partner together and bring people out into the world. And then education, we have a whole series of education programs, both for adults and kids. So that's our three tripod. That's the word I'm looking for, tripod. Everybody can read this, or do we need me to read it out loud?
If you like, you can read it. However, it is going to be posted on Facebook. So if they want to, they could go back to read it. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Then I will let you guys enjoy the story yourselves and read it for yourselves, because I would love to be able to answer a lot of questions and see what you guys are thinking. And I tell these stories to myself all the time, so I'd love to hear what you want to know, and I'm happy to share anything I can. So in creating belonging, this is something that's very, very important to us as a circus, as a company, as a nonprofit. And I will read this. Diversity is having a seat at the table. Inclusion is having a voice. And belonging is having that voice be heard. And we are very, very, it's what we do. It's who we are. It's what we do. Our 2024 word of the year is belonging. When you come to an Omnium Circus show, what to expect? Aside from a fabulous circus show, from the moment you get out of your car until the time you get back in it, we are caring for you. All wheelchairs, all mobility is accommodated. All of our shows are done both in English and American Sign Language simultaneously, not by an interpreter standing over to the side, but by a professional dancer who's a performer in our show who is also deaf. And so the show is performed both in English and in sign language by professional performers. So it's integrated. The language is integrated into the show, not off the side. So everyone is involved together. Every show has full audio description. When you come in at the coat check, you'll check your license and you can get a headset. You can hear the entire show audio described simultaneously. There's a space outside in case you need a sensory break, in case someone needs a break. There's a sensory-free area roped off in the lobby. The house lights never go off, so you can come and go as you please if you need a break during the show. All forms of expression are welcome. If you want to jump up and down, if you want to cheer, if you want to laugh, if you want to vocalize, anything you'd like to do is welcome. We love it. We also have a pre-show tactile experience. So when you come in, the head of our community outreach, his name is Brian. He's also blind. He will be leading a touch table. It's a mini touch tour that you can feel some of the props that you're about to hear described, or if you have vision, you're about to see on stage. It's still wonderful to be able to feel them. We have someone who shoots a crossbow all the way across the stage and pokes a hole in a little bitty card. And that card is on the table for you to feel so that you know what really happened. Obviously not the one they're about to use because there's no hole in it yet. But so that's a little bit about the accessibility that we have as you're coming in. And anything you need at any point in time, please let us know, because we're more than happy to accommodate, to make you feel comfortable. All of the performers also come out after the show for a meet and greet. So you get to see the performers, the kids get to meet them. And it's amazing to see the looks on the kids' faces when they see themselves truly, truly represented. Some of the press that we've gotten, because the show is fabulous. Our artistic director is Noé España, who is 5th generation circus. He says his family is of the world. They speak 6 different languages. They're amazing. And then there's a code that you can, if you're looking on Facebook, you can scan that code. It will take you to our website. And there's a little thing that goes beep, 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 that says buy tickets, buy tickets, buy tickets. And that will take you to the Cap One Hall website. Here's the code for discount tickets. And make sure that you put in the code, unlock code, as soon as you enter the Ticketmaster site, MOMS20. And unlock that code as soon as you enter the site before you search for your tickets, because otherwise it won't work later. So I'd love to answer questions, to tell you what you want to hear.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see, does anyone have any questions for Lisa? See, one question that I did have is how can people join the Ringmaster Squad?
That's a very good question. If you would like to join our Ringmaster Squad, please shoot me over an email, info@omniumcircus.org. info at omnium, OMNIUM, circus.org, and tell me you're interested, and we'll make it happen from there. There's also a link on our webpage. If you go to our website, there's also a link through there that you can find.
Okay.
And we'd love to have you. There's the next Ringmaster Squad event is coming up January 27th. So if you'd like to join, we'd love to have you.
Nice. Okay, so one question that we received was what type of performers or acts will be at the show?
Ooh, that's a very good question. We have an aerialist. We have Jen Bricker-Bauer and her husband Dominic Bauer are doing a duo silks act. You guys know what silks are? Like the big fabrics that come down from the high. So Jen was born without legs. She's an amazing acrobat, and they do this beautiful romantic duo on the silk. So that's one act you're going to see. Owen Sanchez, who is fourth generation circus artist, does this incredible hand balancing way up high. You're going to be right on the edge of your seats, I think. So he's an incredible hand balancer. We have a young woman named Terset Asafa, who trained in Ethiopia. She does bounce juggling. She can bounce 7 balls on this like V-shaped thing. It's incredible. And she also spins this beautiful cube in the air. We have Rick Daniels, who's a dancer and hand balancer, circus artist. He's a 7-time NCAA champion. He's also a wheelchair user, and he does a fabulous, fabulous dance. The whole show is hosted by our ringmaster, Danette Shepard-Vaughn, who has a gorgeous jazz singing voice, and by whom we call our poet, that's just the name of the character, will be played by Malik Paris, who is a phenomenal dancer and is also deaf. We have more acts than that. Oh, we have crossbow stunts.
Yeah.
They're awesome. So this beautiful. So we have crossbow stunts. We have clowns. We have very funny clowns. Not clowns like big hair, big shoes, not that kind of clowns, but just amazingly brilliant comedic performers. They do bubbles. There's some audience participation. So if you like coming on stage, you're welcome. If you don't like it, don't. I promise you, everybody on stage is loved and cared for. I had a young man say to me one time that it made him very nervous that we chose volunteers because he was afraid we wouldn't care for them. So please be assured we care very much for our volunteers. And they're there because they choose to be. And if you want to be, great. And if you don't, it's fine too. It's all good. And I know I'm missing other artists because I know we have more artists coming. Oh, I know. We have an indigenous performer joining us this year who's going to do 2 acts. One is a hair hang. She's going to hang from her hair.
Wow.
Unreal.
I can't wait to see that. Woo.
Yeah. Super cool.
Awesome.
I'm with King Charles Troop. See, I told you I'm going to keep forgetting. There's so many amazing acts. There's incredible art. You just got to come and see for yourself.
Yeah, you have to come.
I know I'm going to miss something. So you guys just got to come and enjoy it.
So out of all of your performances and all of the stories that you've heard, what has been your favorite?
From audience members, you mean?
Audience members or just anyone on your team.
Okay. My favorite story, I'll give you 2 favorite stories from an audience member. One happened our very first show at Gallaudet.
Mm-hmm.
There was a young lady, college student, who walked into the theater very angry and grumpy. Her friends had dragged her there. She didn't want to see a circus. She was not the least bit interested. At the end of the show, she walked up to me with tears streaming down her face and said in sign language, I have never experienced this. I always thought circus wasn't for me. They never have people of color. They never have people who are deaf. I always thought that this was just something that was not for me. And I felt so welcomed and included, and thank you. And she had tears streaming down her face. The other one was recently, this past October, we did a show at a benefit, and there was a young man in a wheelchair sitting on the front row. And he, after watching Rick, he turned to his parents and he goes, "Mom, I can do that. I can do it." And just the joy of his face, it made us all, I mean, even Rick, it made us all cry.
That's so amazing. That really shows the impact that you all have.
It was incredible. And the performers as well. I mean, everybody, their lives are changed in ways that they didn't expect. Everybody enters a show. They're all professional entertainers. Every single person has worked their entire lives to perfect their act. Many of them have never experienced inclusion before. They've always worked in more homogenous circuses, or circuses that didn't necessarily include folks with disabilities, and certainly didn't include them as audience members. So to see the change in the performers and watch their hearts expanding is really amazing. I think my favorite one is a young woman that we hired for our very first year, a young woman who is deaf. And we hired her for our very first year, and she was very talented, incredibly talented. I didn't give her that. She came with that. But she was shy, and she was so afraid, and she knew she could do what she could do on stage. But as a person, she was struggling with things and was not yet confident. At the end of 2.5 years with us, and all the performing and all the touring and all the traveling, she was offered her dream job as a member of a professional dance company, the only deaf person in a hearing dance company. And I'm just so proud of her.
That's amazing.
To be able to witness that growth and to be a part of her journey was just so special.
I love that. That's so amazing. Let's see. Well, does anyone else in our audience have any other questions? Any questions about the circus? What to expect? And then,
as you're looking for questions, I encourage you all to enjoy it. If you're able to come, please do so. If you're not able to come, there is a place on our website where you can gift a ticket. And if you choose that and you can gift a ticket, there is a fund that we use for those who cannot afford to come, because we don't want to be discriminatory even for reasons of socioeconomic hassle. So if you can afford it, please support us. We are a not-for-profit, and please do support our efforts. If you are not able to, that's okay. Please enjoy us anyway.
Awesome. So Lisa, can you tell us when and where the show will be?
Absolutely. We will be February 24th, Saturday at 2 p.m. at Capital One Hall in Tysons, Virginia. And then we are also touring after that. We're going to Colorado, then we're going to New Mexico. For anyone who's listening to this who is not from the DC area, we're going to be in Fort Collins, Colorado at the Lincoln Theater. We will be in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Pope Joy Hall. We will be in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the Miller Auditorium. We will be 3 weeks at the New Victory Theater in New York City. And then we have 2 school-time performances at the State Theater of New Jersey in New Brunswick. Next summer, we're going to be doing a whole lot of camps. And then in the fall, we'll be back out on tour. So please stay tuned to our website. And meantime, join us on February 24th at 2:00.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It was a pleasure having you and learning about the circus and learning about everything you do and what inspires you all. So to our audience, be on a lookout later today for the discount code once again and how you can win free tickets. Please like, subscribe, follow Omnium Circus on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find them. And we hope to see you all.
See you all there. Welcome to the circus.
All right. Oh, we have someone who says, "My son loves circuses. He is happy there. It's one of the only places that he can enjoy without being excluded."
Mwah. Thank you, Becca. We'll see you at the circus. That's why we do this. Let's bring families together. That's why we're here.
Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you there.